to see you. So what taka did the Rebbe mean when he said to discuss it, feeling is nit Tammuz? What did he really mean? Why is it so terrible? Why is it so outrageous to want to feel something? If you ask a person in the world, any person, feelings are desirable. Feelings are important. And anyone that looks at a Farbrengen, lives with a Farbrengen, today, you see so many feelings that the Rebbe expresses by the Farbrengens. From simcha, and at times tears, hergation, it's called hergation. Yet, there's a saying, it's a Chasidism saying, it's a Yiddish word. Feeling is a boich veitog. You know what that means? Feelings are a stomach ache. When your stomach hurts you and you have to go to the bathroom, that's when you express your feelings. You feel, upset stomach. So how do you reconcile the two? Now, Bocherim, in Yeshiva, learning Chasidism, learning Gemara, davening, halacha. Why would this idea that the Rebbe told the Chassid, how does it apply to you? Because the Farbrengen is for you. It's for all of us, but Yeshiva, not Farbrengen now for Balabatim. There's some Balabatim here, but it's your Farbrengen. So, Bekitzer, and again, a Farbrengen is not a shiur. Today, many Farbrengens have turned to shiurim. It's not a shiur. I'm not giving you a shiur now. If you want a shiur, we'll give you a shiur another time. But it's not a shiur now. Farbrengen is all about feelings. If you farbreng with your cup, the schwache Farbrengen. There were certain Chassidim who used to farbreng with their cup, but even they, feeling clicked in, but it came. For example, there was a chassid, as a grandson here in Detroit. His name was Moshe Garadi. He was a big Moscow Chasidus. And I asked Chassidim, my father who heard him, and other Chassidim in Tel Aviv, the Nachas B'Yom Shul. This was the shul of Rashab Chassidim, and even some elders from maybe even before. Was really from Ein Lubavitcher in that shul. So Reb Moshe was the one who kind of led the Farbrengens 2 o'clock, where he started 1, 2 o'clock Shabbos afternoon, many times. And he Farbrenged with Haskalah, deep ideas, see this, and then took it to an avodah, a level of avodah. And there's still some Mashpia that Farbrengen that way. Whatever. That's a certain style. But a Farbrengen requires a hergish, a regish. You don't have a regish by a Farbrengen without mashke. With mashke, is it your regish or is the mashke that's speaking, right? You take mashke, you take l'chaim, too much l'chaim, how do you know if it's you speaking, your true self, or is the alcohol speaking? So a Farbrengen, the gather of a Farbrengen, we'll use some Reb Chaim's Loshen. You heard Reb Chaim Briske? You learned, I don't know, young Bocherim. You learned Reb Chaim, yeah? Okay, so what, the gather, the Reb Chaim, he has certain clothing, the chalois, the gather, Zwei Dinim, and all the Briske derech. Anyway, the gather, by the way, it's not just Reb Chaim, but today the Litvische Welt attributes it really to Reb Chaim. I mentioned once to Rabbi, to that tells, Rabbi Gifter's son, he has a son in Lakewood, writing a book on tells, so I interviewed him for a long time, kept me on the phone a long time, and he was, I don't know why, but he was Megala, and he spoke like freely, which was, he told me his father was that way, he said, he puts on his mind, I'll go upon him. So he says, so he said, so he says, Vecher Reb Chaim, he says, by his father, when you said Reb Chaim, he says, Reb Chaim tells it to Reb Chaim Brisket. Did you ever hear of Reb Chaim tells it? There was another very big Rosh Yeshiva in Godel and at London.
Did you ever hear of tells it?
Oh, they hear of tells it.
Chaim tells it. They don't even know what tells it.
They don't know what tells it. Okay, fine. Anyway, I would think they hear it. It's in Ohio, Cleveland. Okay, anyway, all kidding aside. But I got the Rebbe gehalten from Reb Chaim tells his derech to learn. How do I know? I heard this from Nish Yosef Goldberg, his brother, the Ukrainites, they helped it, whatever his name. Goldberg did a shiva in Natar Teva. Reb Yaakov Goldberg, he told me that Reb Nissen, and he was the Talmud of Reb Nissen Emenov, in the 50s, there was a whole issue with the Sephardish Bocharim, came from Morocco, and they were learning the Temimim Brumois, and they had relatives and friends who went to a yeshiva in London. I forget now the name of the yeshiva. It was on the Litvische Mahalach, and they would talk, and they would hear from them. It was a Lenin, and it was very geschmack, and they wanted to leave. They wanted to leave the Lubavitcher Yeshiva. They wanted to go there. I think the Rebbe was Rav Shecht. I forget the name. Anyway, known yeshiva. So they listened. I think it was the first time that he came to the Rebbe. No, London. It was Topshim Tezvov, Tezayin, the year of Nissen, the first time he came to the Rebbe. So they asked Nissen, you couldn't just tell him what to do. It didn't work that way. He was a bokoyach, for Temimim, for the Rabbeim, he came to the Rebbe, and he had a das chosot, and but it can't betten. So they asked him, listen, if the nine yeshivas and Rebbe, asked the Rebbe, what should we do? They went, and the yeshiva was very small. I asked him over again. Very small yeshiva. I asked him, should I go to the was there too? It was a clay yeshiva. It was not the Brunoir of today. Far from it. And you had a whole group of the Lubavitcher, Grace, Chasidism, Donim, the Labakovskis, and on. Shamskis, Grace, Talmid Chachamim, and Chasidism guys. Oh, but it was, 20. How many were there? So he went to Yeshivis, and he said to the Rebbe, that's a problem that the Bocharim want to leave, and they're really bothered with this. And the Rebbe Nissen wasn't, I need to have more Bocharim. Well, that's not where it was coming from. It's a vital in this case. You count heads. You need Moshe from Friedrich, Rebbe Rashab. There'll be a certain thing I'm not going to go into right now. The Rebbe Rashab said, if Dr. Shav Mer put in flesh, I don't need more meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes I need, and bones, that's what I need to take big mimim. I need soldiers. I need Temimim. Neiris Lahoye. I need an army. Right? Was Kenan Lenin, and Davinin, and Kabbalah Seil, and Hafwatz Mayonis, and but just to have another number, which, by the way, there was a certain sheet in Slabodkin. You ever hear Slabodkin? He said you've never heard about Tel. Slabodkin, you didn't hear about, probably Zichana. Anyway, you don't need to know about these things. But anyway, Slavita's not about you. So there was a certain shita, this idea of grabbing Bocharim, It was a whole shita. It was a whole shita. Don't think it wasn't a shita. And it spilled over later. The Talmidim of the altar of Slabodkin, Nosson Tzvi Finkel, you know, they took this, and Rabbi Ruderman in Baltimore, Rabbi Chaim Dalfin, there was a whole idea of helping Talmidim. And I'll just tell you, it's story. When Rabbi Groner and Rabbi Yisrael Oldtime left Chaim Dalfin in Tomchei Aleph, I think, for Temimim, Rabbi Yitzchak Hutner was very upset, and because they were from the best Bachar, professional learning, and so Yitzchak Hutner told Mordechai Groner, it's the Rebbe Groner's father, Yitzchak Groner's father, he said, if God is werden from them, he'll become a nothing. Er wird bleiben dort bei mir. He'll remain here in Chaim Berlin, better sein, Chochem, Gottel, whatever the language you use. But you're going to send him over there. And by the way, Hutner had a good relationship with the Frierdiker Rebbe and respect. He came to Farbrengen, Tafshin Yud. But the Shusterman says it in the Sefer. He was walking up the steps, and he saw Yitzchak Hutner waiting to get into the room. So you can look it up in the Lageda, in the Sefer. I'm sure it was just his father who saw him. You know, he came around. And then of course he had to say that with the Rebbe. The Rebbe learned with him, and they learned together. The Rebbe going says 3 years, whatever. Anyway, but nevertheless, the shita that is reingekarrt geworden, was baked into their heads, to get another bocher. This was a shita by them. By us, in those years, it wasn't such a shita. It wasn't such a shita. So Reb Nissen was a yid that definitely did not have such a shita. Aber, he needs a yeshiva. He like yeshiva. Temimim. Bocherim. And he felt that he can take these Moroccan bocherim, who have the midas, the emotions, the miracles, the stardom, and they become chassidim, and they start learning chassidus, v'chuli. So he asks the Rebbe. The Rebbe tells him, and the Rebbe had on his desk. That's what he told me. The contration that came out of Telz with the Torahs, with the Shiurim of Rabbi Chaim Dalfin. And he said to him, Geb dos Rabbi Yosef Goldberg, what they call him, Yosef Tashpeler, whatever is the name of the city, the father of these Goldbergs I'm talking about. He was like the Talmud Chochem Rosh Yeshiva in Bruma, and this was Mashpia. Geb es zu soll es durchgucken, durchlernen, geben Shiurim von them. And the Rebbe said, so macht the choice that he's kind of taking information for Shiurim from Rabbi Chaim Dalfin. The Rebbe said it to Reb Nissen. Telz probably sent it to the Rebbe. These could trace him, and the Rebbe had it in his desk. I have no idea. So anyway, that's just an aside. And there's other, that the cloud, and you know that in Telz, there was Shir and Tanya. There were two groups. There was one group of Chevra that went to, like the Shurim and the Musar Seder, and there was a whole group, because Reb Shmuel Levitin's son, one of his sons who never made it, he never came back, he was taken into the army, but he was a Bocher then. And that's where Chaim Gutnik went, and a whole Kfutza. And Reb Gifter, also learned in that Shir, Tanya, in Telz. He's not talking about 5 Bocherim. He told him it must be 30, 40, 50 Bocherim learning once a week Tanya. Reb Shmuel would come once in a while. He probably got them excited, and then they made a Chabura. Anyway, let's go back to the Nekuda of the feeling. A Farbrengen is a feeling. You don't have a feeling at a Farbrengen. You haven't started the Farbrengen. You really haven't. If it's only up here in cup, and it's hard, especially you're public and this and that. So then, a little mashpia, you take a little l'chaim, so hopefully, but that's a method to help you, allow yourself to try to feel, but you have to feel. if you go through a 2, 3, 4 hour Farbrengen, you're sitting together, and you're not connecting. You're not connecting. So what does the Rebbe mean, feeling the dit Tammuz, that he tells this in Racham Shkolnik, feeling dit Tammuz? It's a very simple answer. You know, this Kintetus and Kabbalah here, it's very simple. You know what the answer is? There is feeling that is yeshivas, that is gaiva, that's ego, that top is grobkeit. And then there is, when a Rebbe tells you, Harava Chosid, Avoskim Chosid Reb, and he writes it to you in a title, it goes amitis, it's true. Do feels this need, you don't feel? Work on yourself. Become such a person. So you, mitzad atzmacha, you for yourself, Taka shouldn't seek to, oh, I'm the big Yacha Badam, I'm the big shot, you know what I'm saying? But when a Rebbe says something, then it's Kedusha. The Rebbe's Kedusha. You know what Kedusha is? You should know what Kedusha is. Why should you know what Kedusha is? Why? How do you know about what Kedusha is? I'm asking you about it. Yeah, how? What do you think?
Highest of all levels.
What?
He's the highest level.
But I'm saying, how do you know about Kedusha? What does it mean to be Kaddish, to be holy, to be Kedusha? Peirik Vov and Tanya. You learn Peirik Vov?
That's all?
You remember what the Alter Rebbe says?
Not really.
Okay. So we're still b'chazir. The Alter Rebbe gives a gedder. The Alter Rebbe in Tanya gives us the gdorim, puts down the quintessential, the nekuda of things. And you know what he says about Kedusha? Kedusha is bittul. Kedusha is bittul. Not Kedusha is more of myself. I know more. I'm greater. Kedusha is how less you are as far as your yeshivas and metzias. Bottle. Kol masha bottle etzli is butter. Right? The Lashon Alter Rebbe. That's Kedusha. Tell your story. So years ago, after seeing a letter from Rebbe, I think Chilek K, with the Rebbe says that the Yoni Neshama, learning about what we call in English the soul, the Rebbe says he sees and he encourages that it can help people today. They should, and he talks about Gilgulin, reincarnation. You know what Gilgulin means? Where's the Neshama before? Where is it now? Where's it going? All these in Yoni. There's another friend of mine who got lost, Michael somewhere. Michael's here. Michael, get over here. So Michael was at the lecture I gave at the Chabad house on reincarnation the other night. Come sit over here, sit next to the rabbi. Come. So, right? And the Rebbe, I told them, and I'm sharing it with you, the Rebbe writes over there that he sees as to help mention and help people. And I can tell you, I'm sure Michael could tell you, the people that came, there's not, most of them are not from and all that. And they were engaged. Where's the soul? Where is it? When is it coming? How does it go? All these questions. And Michael had asked some very good questions that I have to scratch my head. And I told him I have to go back to New York, take out the books, discuss it with some people who know these inyanim. Because, there's a question that he asked that I asked when I started. And I still don't have I don't have it. I don't got it. And therefore, he picked up on it, and he challenged me, asked me, and we're gonna dig further. Anyway, so where am I gonna learn about Rabbi Yoel didn't teach Yoni Neshama. Rabbi Hobson didn't teach Yoni Neshama. No one in Lubavitch, you would come to them, teach me, kiss me, Arizal, kiss me. He would laugh at you, Mr. Often sin, and learn Chasidism, and, Hakishkin Shainik. But Chaim Dalfin, was teaching and about, people who, they relate to this, so you want to be informed. You don't want to just Hakishkin. Where am I going to learn this? So I heard that in Borough Park there's a certain Yid, a Chasidism Yid, and that he knows Kabbalah. I remember he was down on 58th Street, at that time it still wasn't as Borough Parky as it is today, So I go to see him. Before I call someone, a Rav in Flatbush. I don't want to mention the name because it's not so pleasant. And I heard that it's a makubal, that it can't Kabbalah. So I had questions. So I called him up. The whole time he spoke down at me. And it was so arrogant. I would have hung up the phone, but the Cheretz, he's a Rav. I said, no, I'm not going to go learn these inyanim by the way. It's not Kedusha. It's an Arav. Ken probably knows a lot more than me. But especially with inyanim of Shom and Zechazach and such things. Went to this other one in Borough Park. The Chassidish Takadu Kabbalah. I'm just bringing out to you, Bacher, the whole idea of Bittul, the whole idea of Kedusha is Bittul. One more short little story on this. So in 2001, there's a famous story called the Dibuk of Dimona. In Dimona, Eretz Yisrael, there was a Dibuk. I gotta go and tell the brother. So I pursued this. I really wanted to once and for all. Is there really a Dibuk? I learned about it. And what is it? And how is it? And who is it? And they say there's a Dibuk. And that the Batzri in Yerushalayim said Takis is a Dibuk. So I made it my business to go there to Yisrael and to pursue this. So I met with Rabbi Batzri, Rabbi David Batzri. I hope he's alive still. And I said to him, I asked him, and he said, he did what says in Kisfarizal, how to take out a Dibuk. There's a method. There's a method to the madness. There is a method. I'm not going to go into it now. There's a method. Just leave it at that.
Kind of let me know how to deal with it.
Awesome show. Anyway, the higher I see it, because it's no fun to be possessed by a Dibuk. Anyway, so I said to him, David, I spoke in Hebrew, I said, there was a video, then a tape, and whatever, I guess Kino Drisha seemed like, I'll tell you the secret what I did. How did I find out that I believe in sevens? How? Because he said it. Because Batsy said it, or another, you know how? I went and interviewed the person who had the Dibuk in it, her. I found her. Hagan Samaisar found her. And on the way there, she almost canceled on me. And she and her daughter were there. And they were there the whole, and then I compared what she said and what the daughter said. Anyway, to me, I said, emes. A bissl mer, a bissl weniger, a little more, a little less, but haya mashahu. There was something here. So I went to the David Batzri, and I said to him, David, and how did you know? Here he's the Makubal, Ada from the Makubal, one of the Makubalim of Yerushalayim, Chaim Dalfin is asking him, how did you know? That's right. Tiny, but I want to know. I want to understand. I'm allowed to ask. You tell me about your business. You can tell me I don't want to tell you. But he didn't say that. He spoke to me for 45 minutes. He spoke. And one thing came out, and that's what I'm telling you. He said, Haya Yira Shemayim. Haya HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The whole time he repeated. In other words, I was trying to get to him to give me some seichel, logical, what did you see? What did you do? How, make the equation work out. He didn't say it. The whole time he said, Yira Shemayim. Yira Shemayim. So, Ezras Hashem, Siyata D'Shmayim, Siyata D'Shmayim, Siyata D'Shmayim. I walked out saying, this is a big diki. This is a Chabadnik, a real Chabadnik. I'm the cuckoo like this guy from Flatbush. You know? So, if to end this this part, if the feeling is wegen sich, then take your feelings and there's a bathroom outside. Go over there with your feelings. But if the Rebbe says it's a feeling, and the Rebbe calls you a Chassid, and you're a Shemayim, or Amdin, and whatever else, and the Rebbe sent all of you, I'm sure, a mitzvah letter. It's not a joke. Don't think that the Rebbe's letter, it's like, oh, it's pre-printed. That's klippa. And I'm sure your Mashpia Yeshiva can prove to you that it's klippa. Because there were times there was an extra letter, an extra word, v'chuli, v'chuli, v'chuli. As a kum from Rebbe, it's holy. It's a heilig. It's all meaningful. It's all purposeful. It's all kedusha. L'chaim, l'chaim. Fantastic. Ay, la, da, ya, ya,